to remove my jacket. And I know that feels bad
Well,
to you guys that you
we've
cannot
got
move your jacket.
sunshine, but
Yeah.
not the
Where
heat.
is?
Sunshine, but no heat. It's
Oh, is
sunshine and
it?
cold.
That's deceptive. That's a deceptive sunshine.
I mean, we had sunshine and snow yesterday, so
Yeah. It's
Ah,
treacherous here. I was saying, walking
yeah.
out
ah,
into the from the house to the garden, I've got my like sorrel winter boots on, but we've got a little patio area, and I did that thing where I nearly put my foot down, but I saw the sheen. And last week when I did the same thing, I went "Ugh," and my coffee went "Ugh."
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's very, very icy out there.
Oh, wow. Good to see you guys. Good to see
Hi,
you
Larissa.
again. Yes, good to see you guys again. Kate, good to see you. Rich, good to see you.
Hi, Gabriel.
Larissa, yeah, hi, guys. Yes, I don't know how the new year has started up for you guys. And I'm curious to just hear from you guys how the year has started. How is it? How is the year starting? You guys seem to be back to work already.
Very much.
Yeah. Oh, very much. Like, did you just wake up and jump into the middle of it, or do you build momentum as you go? How does it work?
I feel like a car starting in the winter, which is
Oh,
slowly.
okay. Okay. Alex, you're yet to come to Kenya. I gave you a free offer. What are you
And don't
waiting
get me
for?
wrong, I'm searching all the flight scanning websites all the time.
What's stopping you?
My job.
Oh, God of mercy. Can you just say, I'm going? You guys look for me
Yeah.
if you want me, but I'm gone. Oh, great. Well, good. Good to meet you guys again. I am right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm in a place called Nanyuki. Nanyuki is some place in central part of the country. I'm not too far from Mount Kenya. And for some of you who are mountain climbers, you probably, I don't know whether you've thought of coming to climb Mount Kenya. You probably need to have that in your bucket list. It's I've never gone there though, but I'd like to invite you to come climb. Maybe if you guys come, we can join and go climb it together. But yeah, but that's where I'm connecting from. I have a little retreat here with my team. So they're downstairs. They are finishing up some piece that they were talking about. So I decided, let me take this call, and then when you're done with the call, I'll go back and proceed with them after lunch. But it's such a treat to get to connect with you guys again. Just a quick one. What are you celebrating? Any celebration for the new year? Any thoughts about 2026? Is it just a number 2026, or does this mean something to anybody? Just a series of numbers, or does it mean something to anybody? 2026.
I'm certain my girls were, I've got twin daughters. They turned 5 yesterday, so celebrating them still being alive and us still being alive.
Ah, ah. Ooh, some friends of mine say, in Kenya, we celebrate to be alive. It's a joy to be alive. Yes, someone, hey, how are you doing? I'm alive. And they're like, oh, okay, good to be alive. Anyway, Shara, what are you celebrating? Or what does 2026 mean to you?
So I'm 60 this year,
Wow.
in August. And my son also gets married in August this year. So one fleeing the house is going to be bizarre, but yeah,
Oh,
something to look forward to.
oh, wow. Wow, that's good. That's
I know I
good.
don't
I
look
want
60, so I don't, but hey, I feel it some days. But what? And I don't, a lot of people say, don't they? Oh, 60. It's just a number, isn't it? It's what you feel. God's been good to us, so I'm grateful for everything. And God's been good. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Kate, 2026, what does it mean?
Yeah, I'm not really a massive like, I'll completely change my life on the 1st of Jan, but I have set myself a new habit aim of reading more and watching a bit less TV, which was often a bit of a bumpy start, I'm not gonna lie, because I actually, on my first night of like, let's go to bed early and read, I knocked my glass of water onto my reading lamp. However, I did manage, like I've used my big light in the meantime, and I am going on Saturday to buy myself a new lamp to continue the rest of
Wow.
intentions.
Wow. So what are you reading currently? What have you started reading?
Yesterday I started one which is like a book on the top 100 pieces of art. So it's like a page or two on like kind of important pieces of art. So I'm just what was the I think the last one I read was on the Terracotta Army. So we're like pretty old, and then it'll go through time. So yeah, but it was very enjoyable, and it does make me go to sleep quite easily, which is not a bad thing.
Wow. Wow. That's good. That's good. Hannah, what does 2026 mean?
So 2026, nothing kind of major, but our home went on the market last night, and we've got 4 viewings for this week. So that's wonderful, positive kind of news. I've kind of said, God, if it's meant to be, kind of sort it. So yes, so that's the positive news for this week, and then celebrating my sister's birthday next week. So going on the
Oh.
birthday part. So yes.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Thank you for sharing that, Lena. How do I read that? Lena, Lane? How do I read it?
Leanne.
Sorry if I.
I'll answer to anything, so
Leanne.
you're all good.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Hey, I'm so impressed. It sounds very cultured. I haven't done anything that cultured for a long time. Um, yeah, 2026, I don't know, nothing particular. I feel like we're definitely in survival mode still. Life is very, very busy here. So if I make it to 2027, it will be a bonus.
You're happy to be alive. Hope you'll be
Just
alive
about,
up to
yeah.
2027. Oh, wow. 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 Wow, Len. Okay, Larissa, 2026.
It's also birthday season in my house, actually. There's something about January, isn't it? Like everyone's birthday. So my youngest daughter turns 11 on Monday, which feels insane, like my little baby. And then my oldest daughter, 2 weeks later, is 14. And then it's my husband's birthday. I always feel a bit sad for him. It's like he gets forgotten at the end of birthday season. Do you know what I mean? Like I always do like fancy cakes for the girls, and then I'm like, oh, I feel like my baking has run out. Although he doesn't mind, so it's fine. So yeah, I'm always like that. Christmas is out of the way, and I feel like, yes, I've done Christmas really well. And then, oh no, birthdays, need to plan everything, parties and whatever. But it's nice because it means that January is actually like a fun month rather than sometimes January can be a bit of a back at work, it's cold. But yeah, it's quite nice doing birthday planning and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, wow. All the best in the birthday plannings. Will, what's up?
So yeah, I'm on holiday soon. I'm heading to Australia. It's a sort of a rescheduled holiday, which was supposed to happen last year, but for various reasons couldn't happen. So be heading back into the sun. Not quite Kenya's sun. Actually, no, it's pretty good over there at the moment. But yeah, Kenya's on the list though. It's on the bucket list. We'll get there one day.
But you're saying in this trip you're dropping by.
Yeah, on the way, you reckon?
I have traditional dancers and mobilize them to come just welcome you to Kenya.
Oh, there you go. My brother-in-law's Kenyan,
Alex.
so yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Wow, good to know. I'd love to know what part of Kenya is that. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Alex.
asking. Sorry. Yeah, Alex.
What?
Oh no, he's I'm not sure. It's in some village. It's sort of close to Nairobi. Yeah, I'm actually not sure. Oh, I
Okay,
couldn't
that's fine.
pronounce
No
it anyway.
worries.
Yeah.
No worries. Maybe next time, should we get to do this again, I'd love to know what village that would be. Alex.
I mean, my New Year's resolutions are all pretty boring around like be healthier, eat healthier, do more exercise, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty standard. But the year itself is looking like a pretty normal year. Our big challenge is figuring out secondary schools for my daughter, simply because it's just complete and utter mysteries to my wife and I because we didn't grow up here. So figuring out, which are the good schools, which are the not good schools, why some of them only go up to the age of 16, then you go to college, then you go to university. It's like, so it's going to be that kind of year.
Wow. Wow. All the best. Claire.
Well, I'm celebrating successfully getting from the back door into the office this morning, as I said right at the very beginning. But yeah, I've had a lot of change over the last 12 months, so I feel like this is my year to execute, and not in a negative sense, but just to kind of crack on and be doing rather than sort of working towards things.
Wow, well, thank you guys. Personally, of course, as I told you, I have a retreat here going on. Last year, I just laid off almost half of my staff. So I have a very lean staff right now, and we are trying to figure out how to move on with the few people we have, what to cut and what. And so I am looking at 2026 with mixed feelings, scared but hopeful. And so I am here trying to figure out what does that mean? What does that look like? And so, but it's going to be a good year. And of course, family-wise, I am getting my kids to change school. And so that's interesting because my kids have been in a particular school and they've all hated it. "No, please, we need another school. We need another school." So we kind of got some of those changes happening. So it's a lot of change in the house. So I'm trusting God that it becomes a year that all these changes will lead to something that I will not regret. Well, as we start our time today, and you guys have been walking this marvelous, wonderful journey, and this is part of the altitude, and we are doing session 13, 14, 15. And so we have this scripture to get us started, and probably you've interacted with this before. And for the body is not one member but many. If the whole body were one eye, how would you hear? Imagine if the whole body was just one eye. But sometimes in life we operate as if we don't need other people. I just need my time, myself to do my stuff the way I want it. But it's interesting how the Bible challenges us that imagine if the body was only one part, how would that look like? The head cannot say to the feet, "I don't need you." On the contrary, those parts that seem to be weaker are indispensable. Some parts that we feel like these parts are they really not come out. They're weaker, they're really not essential, but they're really, really good. They're really very important part of our body. But in fact, God has placed the parts of the body, every one of them, just as He wanted them to be. And that's a sobering reality that everybody around us, everything, every piece around us is necessary, and God has placed them there for a good reason, so that the universe, so that we operate effectively. I don't know what thoughts you have to this scripture. You probably interacted with this before. I'd love just to hear quick thoughts from one or two people on this scripture as we even get started on this conversation today. What thoughts come to mind? Maybe just because I can only see half number of people, so I'll just ask Sarah. Sarah, what thoughts comes to mind in this scripture, if you have any?
Okay, so for me, this comes to think that we have to work together. We're not gonna, it's teamwork, isn't it, for me? I can't do something without another member of my team, I think. So yeah, we're all in it together. My team, there's four of us, and we all got little bits of talent, and by bringing them all together, we can achieve big things. But by ourselves, it's little, isn't it?
Thank you, Will. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, exactly that. We're interdependent on each other, and we weren't created, to be in isolation. I think, we depend on each other. We're better in community, I think, just as human beings.
Imagine a world full with the same people like you, a world or a city where everybody is like you, everybody thinks like you, everybody says things the way you say them, everybody sees things with your perspective. How would that town be? How would that place be? Do you think it would miss some aspects, or would it be a perfect one where you love to stay in? Maybe, I don't know about you. I think for me it would be a boring place if everybody saw things and interacted with everything the way I do as Gabriel. I don't know about you. Would it be a better world, Larissa, to be in, where everybody is like you and everybody sees everything the way you see them, everybody speaks the way you speak? Well, how that look like?
No, I think that would no, I would not like that. I think I really it became very apparent during COVID when we were all kind of closed off from everybody how actually we do need people. Like we need other people just to in some ways actually even for our own sanity, for our mental health, actually just to kind of mix with lots of different people and kind of go out and see different faces. So I think that's what I think of when I read this verse, that we do really need the people to function well.
Yeah, we need people, and not just people, but probably people who see things different from us. I got a quote there that there was someone was like, nobody is wrong, they just have a different perspective. And I'm trying to think around that nobody is really wrong. They just see the world from a different perspective. And it takes a lot of sobering to appreciate that. And of course, in life, sometimes we act as though we don't need anybody. It's my world. I gotta do it the way I want it. I gotta live it the way I want it. And especially if you're working with a team. And sometimes you have a way you want things done. And so you kind of tend to either ignore other people or either feel like you don't need them or just have them as seat fillers. But in this journey as we walk it, this journey of altitude, we have these rules of team engagement. I have a team down here, and I'll be making references to some of my team members here because I've worked with them for some time. And even as you're doing this planning conversation that is going on, I am picking up some things that makes them unique and special in ways that I need them in my team. Now, I'm a nurturer. And the nurturers in the room, this is something you've probably seen or interacted with. But I'm a nurturer. And nurturers, we struggle sometimes. And we struggle a lot. And occasionally, we need to be reminded that people need to hear our honest opinions and what we really think, because we tend to keep what we think inside of our heads because of second guessing, asking, what if I don't say it right? Oh, that person is more eloquent. Let me allow them to speak first, then I'll speak later. And then as we keep giving other people chances to speak, time is up. If the meeting is being led by a pioneer, time is up, and then we're not gonna speak. But then I think if as a team, we can then be able to guarantee a nurturing that would be considerate with how we bring critique or challenge. Because to a nurturer, any critique or challenge brought in a way that looks arrogant or comes out like doesn't appreciate where the nurturer is coming from is probably not a is probably going to make them never, ever, ever speak again. As a nurturer, I have to continuously remind myself that I need to speak up because there are people who really trust my opinion. And it's important as a nurturer to appreciate what the team is asking you. You are here as a team, and hopefully this is something you can appreciate as a team. Then we have the creatives, built in a way that they are big picture guys. They think the future, they dream outside the box, they like thinking outside the box, they like questioning the status quo. What a creative would love to hear a lot and a lot is to be encouraged to dream big and share their ideas with the people. Because it's quite sometimes hard to really understand a creative. Because they start off on a tangent, and before you realize they're talking of things that are like, okay, are we still talking about the same thing we started with? But because they have so much going on in their brain, they just keep going and going. And at the end of the day, they're supposed to talk about one thing. They've kind of talked about five things. And you're wondering, so which is which? But it's good to encourage them to think big and to dream big and to share their ideas. And remember, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. I was talking to a young man who is a creative, and he's like, sometimes I find myself wrong and I end up now not speaking. But I had to encourage him, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. And of course, what then I promised him, and for the period that I was working with him, I promised him that I will always use clarifying questions to really understand what they're trying to say. And sometimes I'd ask them, hey, so what do you mean by that? And then they go quiet. because they're trying to figure out how do they bring those in words that I will understand, because they know they said something that I really didn't understand. And so sometimes as a team, you just need to promise a creative that you will ask clarifying questions. It helps them to really bring out their point, really. To the guardians, I worked with a young lady who was a guardian, and she would come sit in front of me and like, Gabriel, I don't like the way this is happening. We are wasting a lot of time, wasting a lot of resources. And I'll encourage her, keep at it. Your professionalism, your ability to pick the gaps, the things that are not working so well. I like that. Keep asking the difficult questions. Keep coming and asking, why are we doing this way? Why don't we do this differently? Why is this being done like this? And of course, keep asking those difficult questions that sometimes looks like an interrogation moment, but keep asking them, because we need to remind ourselves of what we committed to. And to a guardian, that's really, really important. Now, what I keep telling some of the guardians I work with, and right now even on my team downstairs, at least this one guardian, the other one is among the people. One of them, yes, one of them is among the people that we had to lay off last month. So one of them, I had to tell her, I know you have 20 questions, but could you just pick between 3 to 5 questions that you feel would be relevant? Because then if you have so many questions, we might not say too engaged, but at least we can handle 3 to 5 questions. So just figure out of your 20 question and then figure out, but again, we will stay engaged as long as we can handle your questions. And of course, that's then what you need to promise a guardian that you might have in your team, so that the guardian in your team don't feel like their professionalism and their due diligence and attention to detail is not being appreciated, because to a guardian, that would make them switch off. They'll not trust you. They'll quickly just lose trust. To a connector, passionate people, they are very passionate how they approach the world. To them, all things are possible. You just need to figure out how to bring other people on board and figure out how to solve this problem, and ideas and people connecting all those. And so is to ask them, sell your ideas as passionately as you can. Guarantee them that you will bring challenge, but you don't intend to be personal. Because of the way to a connector, they can't separate fun, play, and work. They can't separate all those. To them is one and the same thing. And also they can't separate themselves. Everything they do is connected to their heart. And so if you critique them, if you bring a challenge, they're quickly to see you as being personal to them. I have a connector friend of mine who sometimes can go, hey, Gabriel, come here, come here. I'm like, okay, so what is it? No, you just come. I'm like, no, man, I can't come. No, I'll pay you a Uber. You come. No, what? I'll buy you a dinner. You just come. Come. There's someone I want you to meet. And you're wondering, what is this that you... And so if I'm because they're going to personal expense to pay my Uber, to buy my meal, because they believe there's someone I need to meet. So it will be so unfortunate if I start challenging that decision without necessarily, because he'll feel like I'm attacking his person, him as a person. So it's important to guarantee connectors that you will bring challenge, but you don't intend to be personal. These strong guys, very strong people, they can sometimes make you feel like they don't need any help. They're very strategic inside, but beware of they need to be aware of the strength of their critique. A pioneer can make you feel like you're not good enough. You don't deserve anything in this world. And so we also encourage you to listen to everyone else view first, because they can dominate. I had a friend of mine, and we were talking about the 5 voices and all. And as we're going through this, it's like, wow, I get it. I get it why after I speak, nobody speaks after me. Because the way I come, okay, guys, here's what we're gonna do. And guys, everybody, write this down. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, tomorrow, XYZ, and you, Gabriel, do this, you do this, you do this. Guys, done. Done? Are we okay? Everybody okay? Everybody has the instructions? Come on, let's move. And then everybody's like, okay, he's the CEO, he's the boss. How am I supposed to speak after him? How am I supposed to come back and critique what he just said? And so it's important to really, as a pioneer, to let everyone else speak first, listen to others first. And of course, since there's probably sometimes little you can do to these guys, just put your body armor. Just be ready for whatever they might bring your way. And just guarantee them, okay, bring it on. We know you're going to say some things. We are ready for it. Because to them, how they see the world, just that's how their perspective. And so, as we look at these rules of engagement, these are to help us see how best can we engage with those around us. You might have a child I have a kid who is a creative in the house. How then can I make sure that I apply these rules of engagement to this young man who I hear him? He's a creative and he can go on and on with the things he has in his mind. And I need to encourage him to make sure that he doesn't lose that. Now, when you think of yourself, this 5 circles of influence, and you think of yourself, how intentional are you in each of those? And there's like a dimmer switch. Each of us has a dimmer switch. We become intentional or accidental. We switch it up and down, being intentional or being accidental. Sometimes we hope that things will get better. We hope, like, I hope everybody around me gets better. But again, they say hope is not a good strategy. You have to figure out how then to work well with those around you. You have to start with how then do I approach, how do I, as a leader, as a team member, apply the rules of engagement to make sure that everybody in my family and team is able to bring their best, is able to bring out what they're good at. And as we go into our breakout, which we're going to now shortly, I want you to think through this. Who comes to mind in your family, in your team, that you feel like, I think this person, I need to apply the rules of engagement with them. I need to empower them. And maybe this is how I could empower them. Who comes to mind when you think about that? So I'll ask Claire to just send us into breakout rooms and process that a little bit. And then we will come back and just see. And maybe Claire, you can give a few minutes to that and they can be able to come back and continue on this. Is that okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Segment halfway and you got cut off. Did you hate that? You're like, what? I didn't even finish what I was saying. Sorry, Alex. Well, good. We'll just hear from a few of you and just maybe hear from some people. Rich, maybe you could just share with us what stood out, what are your thoughts? What was special about your conversation?
I reflected on the voice I find it hardest to give space to is the guardian voice. I get very tired of the questions. And so that requires me to be disciplined and patient and gracious. But I also liked your capping the questions idea, Gabriel. I thought that was a good one. So yes, that. And then we talked a bit. I was with Kate. We're both nurturers, so we talked a bit about experiences of pioneer voice, and I work a lot with a guy called Paul, who is a pioneer at our organization. He's the CEO, and I've actively been disciplined in making sure I speak first in meetings with him because it makes it easier for him to not speak first. Because if there's space, he will fill it.
Yes.
But that requires going against my natural inclination of listening.
Wow. Wonderful. Larissa, what stood out in your conversation in the breakout?
I think what stood out was what Rich just said. You're brave, Rich. Well done, you. I think Leanne and I were laughing because we're both pioneers, and we were saying just having to be the last one that speaks in a meeting can be a bit challenging at times, particularly when you feel like people are really wasting time and you're like, do I really have to let everybody talk first? This is taking way too long. So yes, that's really fun.
Right. That is interesting. Yeah. How to just wait. You're like, oh my God, Again, come on, get to the point. Get to the point. What are you saying? Well, what are your thoughts? What stood out well?
Well, yeah, another vote for Rich, really. That was really, really insightful. I never thought of it like that. That, you think that person, the pioneer, should be thinking about stepping back and letting people speak, but actually taking the initiative to flip the script a little bit and actually being proactive. I thought that was really good. Yeah, no, just with Sarah, who was my partner in the breakout, we were just talking about, well, actually coming back to the opening verse that you started with, Gabrielle, just about value and just talking about our team, specific teams. Obviously, we've got different teams, but just giving some of the quieter voices, the ones who may seem, they might be nurturers and on one hand you may think they don't have anything to bring to the conversation, but that's not always the case, of course. And actually just stepping back or even inviting them to speak up, because that's probably the little nudge they may need just to have their voice heard. So and then again, just recognizing the value that we all bring as a team, the various voices, the various insights, and yeah.
Wow, wow. It's very good. Thank you, Hannah.
Had great discussions with Alex about our particular colours and things like that, and looking at how we can use the rules of engagement. But I kind of gave the example of someone in my team who's a creative, and I am, make Rich shudder, a guardian. So he would struggle with me. So the bit about where it said the asking the questions kind of thing, I was like, well, I nailed that because I asked loads of questions, but I think the key word is the clarifying. So I took away that I really love that maybe 3, 5 at a push kind of part, because again, the creative will come up with lots of ideas and fresh things, and I don't feel we've nailed what the first idea was that they were doing before they're on to idea 20, by which point I have then 20 million questions and it halts everything. So it was really good discussions, and how there's elements of each of the areas in us too. So we technically have a part of all of them, but we have our stronger one. So no, it's really good discussion with Alex.
Wow, wow, those are healthy, good conversations in the groups, and I'm glad at least we've touched in each of the breakout rooms and got the gist of what happened in the breakout rooms. Allow me just to move it on here so that we look at then what does then this mean, and I like what does all this mean for us then. And I like this statement: if you love somebody, set them free. Kind of looks like you need to hold on to them but but if you love somebody, set them free. What exactly does this mean when you say if you love somebody, set them free? Let them thrive. Let them discover themselves. Let them bring out their best. Let them play their best. You can stifle someone. You can really put someone in a corner where they can't breathe, they can't express themselves. And that's really not helpful to anybody. And of course, as we think through this tool, we're probably familiar with support challenge matrix, which really sometimes to different people in our spaces, some of them, what does it mean really to liberate them? What does it really mean really to fight for their highest possible good? Many times we dominate, and there are those who are good at domination. There are those who dominate so much and bring a culture of fear. And so those around us, we just push, 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 and we have no room for others to really express themselves. And unfortunately, there are those people who are wired to think, I gotta move, I gotta get this done. I need to get this done. And that mostly is always the way pioneers and guardians and creative pioneers are wired, is we need to get this going. And then the nurturers and the connectors and the creative connectors, they tend to come from the perspective of too much support but little challenge. And so what does then liberation mean for each and every person around you, and how does that play out when it comes to this, to each of the voices, each of the people that really you're gonna be interacting with? So what does liberation look like for each voice? So we're going to look at each of this. I give you these are kind of generic, but we're going to look at. I'll also give you an example of mine as a nurturer. But this most nurturers that I have worked a journey with, whenever I tell them to read out this statement for me, they kind of feel like that communicates to me. Now, I'd ask maybe a nurturer here, one of the nurturers here. So I was told I'm trying to find another nurturer who hasn't spoken much. Let me see, let me see. So let me ask Sarah. Sarah, could you kindly just read this for us now, Sarah?
I need you to value my contribution and take the time to draw out what I really think. Invest and believe in me, even if I struggle to believe I'm good enough. Spend quality time with me, get to know me, and join me in caring for others, even when you don't perceive it as important.
Does that look like a statement you need to walk out with for everybody to see? Sarah?
I often think the green is this carey, feely person, and that is what I am. And I struggle when people don't understand that, do you know, and they want to ramrod over
Mm,
me. And it's like, whoa,
mhm.
whoa, 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 I feel this or that. And I do struggle with that. I, I mean, the boys are all blue in our team, and they just don't get my like when I say, "Oh, I care about this," and they just look at me, What are you on about, woman?" And things like that because they don't see that as a well, and it's something I'm working on with them. All right. um,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, and yeah, I suppose I'm just maybe I just sometimes I think I care too much. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes natures. Yeah, it makes sense because I don't know about the naturals, other naturals here. Does this, you probably can just give a thumbs up if this is something that like you really like, makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. Good, good. Yeah, so Sarah, it makes sense. I'm a natural and I hear you. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, the creative, we have a creative here, do we? Do we have a creative here? Okay, second voice creative. Who is a second voice creative here?
Yeah,
Reach
I
you, I
am.
see.
I am, yeah.
Okay, please kindly just read for us.
I need you to believe in me and my ideas, but don't judge me on what I say first. Make sure you take the time and ask the questions to understand what I'm trying to say. Give me the space to dream and keep encouraging me to push new frontiers, even if you can't see it yet.
So imagine all the creatives around you. This is what they wish for. Now, this is generic, but then there can be tailor-made liberation statements. But most creatives would read this and go like, I wish everybody around me would just know that. They would then know how to approach me and how to deal with me. Good. Let's guardian. We have yes, we have a few guardians here. Could I ask Hannah? Is it yes, Hannah? I know. I think yeah. I see
Yeah,
Hannah is a guardian. Yeah, go ahead, Hannah.
yeah. I need you to respect my professionalism, competence, and desire to bring order, systems, and processes to life. Let me ask my questions and do my due diligence. Value the real me that lies behind my logical, rational questions and critique.
What do you think, Hannah? What comes to mind when you read that?
I think yeah, that is that does align.
Hmm.
Yes, and it is that logical kind of the brain of thinking everything through, which can
Mm.
irk some people with the questions. So yeah, yes, yeah, I think that is it does.
Okay.
I resonate with that. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Thank you. And Will, I know Will is guardian and Will is also here. So maybe Will, you could also like, yeah, this makes sense. And every guardian around you, they could be yearning and craving for this. For the guardians around me, they love that they are professionals. And please treat them as professionals and give them opportunity to bring their professionalism, competency out. Because if you start for them, if you don't give them that, you're going to have some trouble with the guardians around you. Connector. Don't think we have a connector, but we probably have a connector second voice. Alex. Alex, do you want to read this for us, Alex?
You betcha. Celebrate life with me and understand that at my best, I don't separate work, rest, and play easily. Regularly ask me what I'm excited about and then let me tell my stories. Never stop believing in me. Appreciate my strategic connections and encourage me to keep dreaming about changing the world and expanding our influence.
Yes, and for all the connectors they need this. They're yearning for this, where someone would celebrate life with them and understand that for them, work, rest, play. And Alex, your connector second voice, how does this ring for you, even when you read it? Or does it communicate anything to you?
Yeah, it does. That inability to separate those things does definitely ring true. And it's helpful if the people I work with understand that. So
the guardians around you might be working. Where are you going, man? You've not finished that document. But then you're like, someone has just brought pizza to the office. Let's eat pizza first, then we can come, or we can do both. Yeah, but you're like, anyway, yeah.
it's all
So
connected. Yeah.
it's all one. I can eat pizza and play and work and listen to music and tell a story about soccer if you watch soccer at the same time.
Exactly. Preach.
Thank you. Pioneers. Let's have one pioneer read for us. And maybe we have Leanna. Leanna, did I say it right? Forgive me.
Don't worry
Forgive
at all.
me.
I need you to
Yeah, go
respect
ahead.
my competence. Don't judge me for being competitive and wanting to change the world. Invite me to help solve your problems. I love doing that. Encourage me to dream beyond what anyone else believes possible.
Yes, and every pioneer needs a space to just be invited to solve problems. Invite them to solve your problem. And if you do not do that, if you don't give them a chance to really bring out their competency and what they're good at, and to dream beyond to solve the problems, you're gonna make a pioneer just leave you, because for them they can't waste their time being with you. They just move. They're just like, "Ugh, I don't think they really want me there," and they move on to the next thing. Now, here's my example, and I'm a nurturer. So this is my example. And I did this together when I was working with my team. So I kind of put it together. So there's the one generic for nurturers, but I decided to put mine together. It's a bit wordy, but I love serving people. I can sacrifice a lot to serve others. Kindly join me in serving others as I strive to bring relief to others. But do not take me for granted. Remind me to stop when you feel I have done it too much, because by myself, I might never know when to stop. I struggle to believe in myself, so continuously remind me of what you believe I have done well, but don't do it just for the sake of it. Mean it when you say it. I invite genuine and honest feedback from those I believe are for me, but give it with some grace so it doesn't paralyze me. Help me get better at what I do. I can be very passionate, animated, enthusiastic. Give me the space to express myself at such moments and let me know if I make sense or not. I look for wow moments in those I work with. They energize me and keep me going. When you give me your word or commit to something, kindly keep your word. But if things change, which always happen, let me know so I manage my expectation, because I easily trust. I don't want to resent you if you keep not meeting my expectation. Let's talk about it. So that is I put that together. And I felt like this communicates to me, and it combines my second voice guardian aspect, because the last statement really speaks heavily to my second voice guardian. And so I tailored this because I felt like this really speaks to me. This is uh, for for Laura. And maybe Claire can read it for her.
Yeah,
Claire, if you don't
absolutely.
mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I need you to respect my competence. Don't judge me for being competitive and wanting to change the world. Invite me to help solve your problems. I love doing that. Understand that I can find it hard to move slowly and be in the present. Please be aware that I am trying hard to be a good friend, but I won't always get it right. Encourage me to dream and take risks when the time is right. Encourage me to go for opportunities involving impact on a big scale. That's what I dream about.
So all these are statements that really you wish people would know, and you want the people in your team to know about them. So what I'd like to ask of us, and maybe you might not get it perfect, and this is an exercise you probably want to do and just refine it and refine it. What's your liberation statement? Who needs to hear it? Who needs to hear this liberation statement? And so we'd probably just into the breakout rooms for a few minutes. Just try put that together, whatever words you can put together, and share with the person in the breakout room. And then we can come back again and just try to bring this to a close in a few minutes. Claire, if you can just send them to breakout rooms. Good. Coming up with the liberation statements on the go. Like, come on, go, do it. And you're like, oh, how do I start? What words do I say? Oh my God. Anybody? Alex, how was it? Just being there trying to figure out what words do I say? How do I say this nicely? Alex.
Really good. Yeah. I'd done the sort of homeworky bit before this. I kind of written my liberation statement this morning. So it's quite
nice.
it was quite fun to talk about it with Hannah and to kind of figure out, when, like, in what situation do you say to people, hey, this is my liberation statement, without sounding like the biggest buzzkill in the world. How do you naturally it's like giving someone a little business card of this is who I am, and without coming across so but it is really empowering to feel like who you are as a person is worth letting other people know this is how I am and this is who I am.
I like that, yes. And of course, I like that. What is it? How do you do that without looking like a buzzkill?
Exactly.
Like, you don't put it on your t-shirt wherever you go. And now everybody's like, oh, we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful who just walked in. Larissa, how was it for you in the breakout?
Yeah, good. I also wrote one this morning, but then I couldn't find it, so I just tried to remember what I'd written. It definitely resonated with the kind of pioneer liberation statement as it's written about I don't like people questioning my competence. I used to have a Guardian line manager, and his way of showing his interest was asking me a million questions about every single thing that I was doing. And it used to frustrate me so much because I felt like he didn't trust me, that he didn't trust that I was doing a good job. And actually we did this, the Five Voices stuff and this with our whole team. And as part of the exercise, I said to him, as a guardian, I find you quite undermining when you ask me loads of questions. And he'd got no idea. And actually from that point of view, like from that point onwards, it was really quite healthy that I could say to him, ask me the questions you want to ask me, but like, do you think this is a good idea? And he'd be like, yeah, I think it's great. I'm just kind of helping you tweak it a little bit. And that was actually really helpful to recognize that was kind of part of his process, but then him recognizing that actually I didn't like it very much. So so that was good, a good way of working.
Nice, interesting. Good. Kit, what are your thoughts, Kit?
Sorry.
Go?
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm not going to have a coffee fit, but we'll see how far we get. I'm recovering from a cold. So I had also done my written one beforehand, but I'd only sort of written it just from nurture as my first voice. So I was in chatting with Rich and I said I actually really like the thought of adding, I haven't done it yet, I'll do it afterwards, but adding in sort of that guardian second voice detail, because I think it is like, yes, as much as my nurturing side tends to dominate, my guardian side comes out in like more difficult situations of like when things are up in the air. I'm like, oh, I need all of the details. I need a clear structure. And like that's when it comes out more. So actually like that is still very important for people to know. And like I don't thrive in situations where there's lots of unknowns. So yeah, that was helpful. So I'm looking forward to sort of adding that in as well. It's like yes, I love to look after people, but also I still do like structure, and it's kind of this like getting that balance is important.
Yeah, because your second voice is really going to influence how people experience your first voice. So it's good to ask yourself, what is the influence of the second voice on how I show up? And that's why a natural creative, a natural guardian, and a natural connector show up differently because of the second voice. And that's like the co-driver. And imagine driving, and, hey, look, watch, you're driving too fast. So the co-driver is the one who keeps telling you, come on, slow down, all these things. And so it's influencing how you show up and when you arrive at your destination, because your co-driver keeps giving you feedback on what's happening. And sometimes it might come too strong. Yeah, so Sarah, how was it for you in the breakup?
Well, I'd like to give everybody a gold star that did it this morning before the session. Well done to you all. And I'd like to thank you, Gabriel, for writing mine also this morning. So I'll put my hand up. I didn't write one, and I do apologise. However, I read yours and I can resonate with some of it. I said to Will, I am a server. I love serving people. That is in me. If I have feedback and you do paralyze me, that upsets me, and I'll go off in a huff, and I have to take my time to come out of that, in that sense. I've got better at that, and learned not to take it personal. And I think that's just the way I've been in my job for the past 8 months. Whereas before, everything was told me, I took personal and it used to upset me. Whereas I've got better at that and improved in that. Yeah, I like the wow moments. I think what you've written is really good, and I can resonate with quite a bit of that, but I will write one. But gold star to everybody else.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. Well, thank you guys, and I believe as you go through this helps you really know yourself. When you sit down and start writing it, you go back, read it again, and read it again, and kind of, as you say, that second voice element, see what that means, how that plays in, because that is really influencing how people experience you to a greater extent. Now, as we bring this to a close, there's this tool. You probably have seen this. You probably have interacted with this, but all of us have our nemesis voices. And a nemesis voice is that voice that if you are not careful, you're likely going to have a conflict with this voice. And this is a voice that you'll always find that when you're accidental, you're going to have those oops moment like, what was that about? Why did they have to say that? Why did they have to do that? Can't they just come up and speak? What's wrong with him? And you always have those moments. And so, if you look at this, this tool here, the five voices dynamics, and we just focus on the nemesis voice, there are other elements of it. When you look at a nurturer is about people and values, but it's present oriented. They're very present oriented because people are here right now, and we're dealing with people issues right now, right here. They're going to have a conflict with a pioneer who is future oriented, but is very system and logic in the decision making process. So there's going to be this tension between a nurturer and a pioneer, and even a creative pioneer. And so being aware of that helps you navigate that so that you're not accidental. Remember, being intentional. You're not accidental in all this. And of course, guardian, who is present oriented, but is very logical and is very system oriented, is going to have some challenges dealing with a connector or a creative connector who is very futuristic, but is very people focused in their decision making, people and values. And so there'll be tension. There'll be tension, and that also the awareness of that. If you know it, you can manage it. If you know I'm going to have tension with person X, then you can manage how you walk into that room. But if you're not aware about it, you'll be wondering what's going on here. But if you can know, the reason I keep having tension with person X is because they perceive the world. They see things different from me, because maybe for them, when it comes to decision making and processing information, They process it different from how I process it. And that's where we have tension. And of course, it's important to appreciate that. And of course, connector or a creative connector for that matter is going to have tension with the guardian. And of course, pioneer and creative pioneer is going to have tension with the nurturer for the same reason. And so it's important to just ask yourself, what is the bottom line here? How are they processing information? And how are they looking at decision? What are the issues that they are playing around when they're trying to decide what matters most? Because that will help you see. And someone says, love thy nemesis. So love thy nemesis. Figure out how to love your nemesis. And that nemesis voice, what does it mean to love them? Now, as we close, as we come to the end of this, I'd like you to think through this and what we've done, the rules of engagement, the liberation statement. What does it mean to then be able to just call it and just say, this is the issue, this is the situation. And maybe it's someone that you need for the rules of engagement, someone you need to apply the rules of engagement to. And it could be a spouse, it could be a sibling, it could be a colleague at work, it could be one of your children or your parents, whatever that is. The rules of engagement, applying those, or the liberation statement. So, for example, for me, one of the things that I've made my team aware is, and we went through this training, the Five Voices training. I took them Five Voices team training in sometime early last year. And so what then I made them aware of is my liberation statement. And so I realized there were a lot of those oops moment and misunderstanding and conflict. So what I did is everybody got to write their own liberation statement. And everybody got to read their liberation statement of everybody in front of everybody. And so everybody now could know, oh, so that's the issue. And then so how then do we own it so that we know, okay, the reason why this happens or the reason why this person needs to be treated this way is because of X, Y, Z. And for me as a person, what does it mean for me as a guardian then to deal with a creative who is my nemesis voice? So you have to own it up. So owning that and seeing how then do I respond? I have to be fully aware of their liberation statement. I have to be fully aware of how I approach them. If it's a pioneer, maybe I need to always let other people speak first. And then executing is in the next meeting that we're going to have, I will let people speak first, as much as it look awkward for a pioneer, but let people speak first. And we'll try as much as possible to be patient to let them speak first. If some people are rambling over things and they're not finishing, I'll probably figure out how to help them bring out their point in a way that would make sense without again losing yourself as a pioneer simply because you now have to sit there forever waiting, because at the end of the day you'll hate yourself. So that balance then becomes something that we need to encourage. So I'd like us to think through that even as we go to our final breakout room. How do we coach each other and call it? Who exactly do you need to let know your liberation statement? Who exactly needs to know this? And what does that mean? And how do you respond to that situation? Or who do you need to liberate? And what does that mean for you? And so as we bring this to a close and we'll go to the breakout rooms, I'd like to invite us to just think through this and go ahead and coach each other in this journey of what does it mean to apply the rules of engagement to each other? And also, what does it mean to engage with the liberation statement at our workplaces? So pick on one, pick on either, whether it's coaching each other on the liberation statement or coaching each other on the rules of engagement as you go into the breakout rooms. Have some time with that, and then we'll come back, hear some feedback, and then we can close off with that. Is that okay? Does that make sense?
Back because normally I'm last back.
Welcome, Sarah. Yeah, and Will is probably not back yet. He's still
He's
finishing
probably
his
just
mini.
biding his time.
Yeah.
He's
Sometimes
like,
you
I
just
cannot
miss the
leave
button,
with.
I think, can't you?
Yeah. So he's waiting to be pulled back in. Yeah. Ah, there he
There
is.
he is.
There he is. There is everybody. Good. I hope we had a good time just helping each other figure out what does this mean really in practice? How do I go and let people know about my liberation statement or appreciate other people's liberation statements, but also rules of engagement? How to apply this? What does that mean? Any feedback? And I'm just gonna give you guys a few of you to maybe share feedback as we come to a close of our time today. So yeah, so let's start with Hannah. Hannah, thoughts? What does this mean?
Um, Another great conversation with Alex. I took it off key a tad, I have to admit. So sorry, Alex. But we did eventually get to just me saying with the call it kind of process, how I still, when I start writing down the call it and own it, I start call it too long and have to move part of that into the own it. But I really struggled with the respond and execute. So it was really good to hear Alex's view, even though we've done it for many weeks now. I tended to find the execute bit was more in my response bit, and then I have to then jiggle them around. This is really kind of making this a bit confusing. So it was just really good to actually hear from someone else how they process through it, because my logical mind still cannot follow this core process thing. But we're execute is the committing. So I really appreciated that from Alex. So it was a really good, short, but really good conversation. So yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Hannah, for that. Execute is when you say who, when, where. Who, when am I doing this? How am I doing it? And even, yes, where will I do it? I'll do it at home. I'll do it, yes. That's when you get to the details. Thank you for that. Let's hear from Will. Will, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Sarah and I we had a chat just around everything really that was discussed and went back to the liberation statement actually and was just talking about applying that to our in our teams, our specific respective teams. And actually, what I think both of us, I'm going to speak on your behalf, if that's all right, Sarah, have agreed to do is actually we're going to share our liberation statements with our teams, but in a manner to help them. Well, bring them into some of the things where we're learning as well, and that we're trying to improve and develop, but also help them understand who we are. So the way that we respond to situations, give them that sort of insight, and then in turn have a maybe a session, an opportunity to sort of have them think about, in turn, a liberation statement that could be helpful, so that we all understand each other. So yeah.
Wonderful. Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, let's hear from Larissa.
I think it's been quite nice chatting with Leanne as two pioneers and she'd said, "Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks like that." It's actually discovering that you're not the only one who's processing things in a particular way. So that's good. I'd said that I think with the deliberation statement, it's probably quite a helpful thing to do as a team. So I'm going to have a chat with our team to just think about is that a good exercise, like in when we've got a longer team meeting, of something that everyone can kind of take a bit of time to sit and reflect on, because I always find it really fascinating hearing everybody else's, because sometimes people think the same way as you, and like literally no one thinks the same as you, so everyone always comes out with kind of new and surprising things, which I think is really helpful.
Wow. Well, thank you. Who are you in the breakout room with?
With Leanne.
You got together again. Okay. Rich, what are your thoughts, Rich?
Yeah, with Kate, really enjoy. I think rules of engagement and liberation statement, alongside the 70/30 tool, are the best things I've got from this so far. I would say, and similar to what others have said, there's a few people I work with a lot, and I would be very interested to do a similar exercise to what others have mentioned, hearing other people's liberation statements. I know two of them are on the espresso, the short version of this course. So hoping that we can facilitate that. So I'm going to chat to them about how we could share our liberation statements. I think if as an organization we can start to have this language and this idea, I think that could be liberating.
Liberation as a lifestyle. And that's good. If everybody has a mindset, how do I fight for the highest possible good of the other person? How do I really, and what does it mean to fight for the highest possible good of those that I work with? And if you know their liberation statement, then you know then how to fight for their highest possible good. Because sometimes you don't know, you just don't know. You're like, oh my God, I need to help them, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how do I help them. But maybe if you knew their liberation statement, then you know how to fight for their highest possible good. You know, oh, so this is what they need. This is what they're craving for. So I'll try my level best to offer that. I might not be perfect, but I'll try my level best to offer that. And maybe I'll fight for their highest possible good. And that is liberation. That is love. I think one of the greatest definitions of love that I really loved as we close this is that love is fighting for the highest possible good of those around you. For me, that's love. That's how I define love. If I can learn how to fight for the highest possible good, then I demonstrate love to those around me. So, as we close, and most of you have said, yeah, you're going to do this with your team, you're going to let them do this and all those things. That's great. My hope and prayer is that that really becomes real. And hopefully, as you do it with them, they'll appreciate it and liberation becomes the atmosphere of your organization, the lifestyle of everywhere you are, even at the family level. If you're married, like I am married, what does liberation look like between me and my wife? My wife is a creative creative nurturer. Sorry, my wife is a creative nurturer. I am a nurturer, guardian, and so we have nurturer right at the front. My wife naturally is second voice, but she's creative, first voice. And sometimes I hear her speak some things, and I go like, "Where on earth is that even gonna happen?" But then the guardian in me, I have to kind of let the guardian on me go down. Like, please don't jump into it. Don't jump into the conclusion. Don't jump into it. The nurturer have to play. So nurturer, play along. And then we see how then at the end of the day, because as you know, the marriage relationship can sometimes be tricky. And you gotta be careful. How does our voices even play in that space? And what does liberation look like in that space? Thank you guys for allowing me to spend this time with you guys. I hope it has been helpful, and I wish you all the best as you continue the rest of your days. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Gabriel.
Thank you very much. Thank
Good.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Claire, as well.
No worries.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye, guys. Okay.